I'd like to show you 2 ways to help your students keep track of assignments in Canvas. So 2 things you can do as a teacher to kind of help that out. The first one is module requirements. So here I have like a module for week 3, and say I want to communicate to them like, okay, I want you to do this and mark this as done, especially if it doesn't talk to Canvas. Or I want you to submit this assignment, because it might be a file upload or a Google Doc that they have to do. Or I just want them to view something. What you can do is you can go to the modules at the top, the 3 dots, and go to edit. And then you can select under requirements, students must complete all the requirements. And I can click any of the pages or assignments that are on here. I don't know why this is showing up. And then you can either select mark as done, view items. If they view the item, a green check mark will show up. If they mark as done, something will show up. Or under assignments, view, mark as done, submit, score at least if it's one of those quiz options that you're doing. And then in order to get, I'll show you on the student side, but in order to get everything, they have that whole module done, they'll get like a little confirmation for everything they do correctly for it. So let me switch over to a student view. So now I'm in student view. And if I go into the modules, all right. So it says to complete all items, and then as this loads here, under a student view, you'll see these little markings on the side. Here they load up. So here I have this red marking, meaning it's past the date of this module, and I haven't completed all the items. I started it, but I haven't finished. I marked this one as done. If I go into that assignment, this was an assignment that they had to go to a different website to complete. It's called AP Classroom. But I wanted them to go back here and just mark as complete. So the mark as complete button would be up here, mark as done. So if you're missing that feature from Google Classroom, it is right there. If they miss something, so something isn't showing up, like they didn't submit or do whatever you required, it's past the due dates, they should get something. Let me make sure once it loads, I'll see it right here. They didn't do this one, so they get this assignments overdue notification on their module. They didn't do it. So those are some symbols that they could use to kind of keep track of things. It does not show up in the gradebook, right? The only way that you can see it is if, as a teacher, so let me leave student view. As a teacher, you go into view activity, and that's where you can see activity like how they logged in and that kind of stuff. But I can view the progress of the students, and I'm not using the progress of the module for their grade. Like I go into each one and just grade or do whatever. So I don't really care if they don't go through and mark as done. If I can still see it on the programs I'm visiting, it's not a big deal to me. But here I can kind of see, if you wanted to, I see like, oh, she completed these fully, but then these are in progress. These are the ones that she hasn't either marked as done or didn't do quite yet. So like this is due tonight. These were all marked as done, so she just didn't go back and mark as done. But I know that the specific student did all these. They were on outside programs. I had to go grade. So it's something you could check on, but I'm doing it mostly for the students. So they have those green check marks. That was really important for them, or it's been very helpful, or to some of the students it's helpful. The other thing I wanted to point out to you, that you can make pages show up on calendar and the to-do list. And my students have really been using that to-do list. If I don't post something to that to-do list or make something show up, my completion rate goes way down. So to get it into your to-do list, because I just recently started doing it, so let me go to more recent day, so like this one right here. So if I click on this, I can get this. This is just a page. It's like the agenda for the day, what we're doing today. And then, some announcements and then the class recording. And so that's going to take a little bit to load, but we go to edit. But you see it says to due dates. So the setting for that is down. You can see it right here, but it's going to jump down. So a lot of stuff there loading. There's a little box right here, student to do. I marked down the day I want them to do it. So this was like Monday's recording and Monday's to-do list. And I want to make sure that kids look at it. So this makes sure it shows up on the calendar. It shows up on the to-do list. It does not show up in the grade book because it's not something I'm grading, right? So that's an option for you. And then if I go under student view, you can see how that shows up then in the calendar and the to-do list. And that might be helpful for you to use. So if you're using Pages and putting hyperlinks to different things versus assigning an assignment with a due date, I think some students could miss stuff because they're really using that to-do list a lot. So this is a way that it can show up right here. So I'm under student view and they get this like to-do list right here. And this is not an assignment, right? I'm not grading it, but is a page. And because I put to do, it shows up right here that today I want them to look at that progress agenda and view the class recording, right? And I'm not giving a grade. It's not showing up in the grade book, but I just want them to do it. This was an assignment. So any assignment and quizzes automatically show up on the to-do list. So that's why kids have been doing that. But if you don't have something that has a really official like due date, I've also used Pages to hold like, say, they had an assessment in honors chemistry and they had one day as a work day and the second day as like turn it in. And so for that Monday day, it was like Monday, Tuesday, that Monday I made a page that says, you're supposed to work on this assessment. I didn't want to do any grades or anything in the grade book for that day, but I wanted to communicate on the to-do list that they needed to work on it. So I did a page, titled it, said the directions or what they're supposed to do, and I put the to-do date so that it shows up here on the to-do list. And then if you go over to calendar, you'll see it there as well. So that's one workaround if you want that to list what they should be working on every day. Because I think the kids just like going through that to-do list. Kind of like as me as a teacher, I like that to-do list for like the grading. Tells me when I need a grade. So then you can see right here on the 22nd, I haven't posted, they're like taking a test tomorrow, so I didn't post that. And then I didn't publish the rest of the new week because I didn't want kids to work ahead. But right here, I have the agenda, right? It's not a graded assignment, but the agenda recording is showing up here for them to watch. So if they go here, they had this, this is their homework. That's a unit progress check quiz. And then I had these like practice quizzes we did in class. I must have just picked this as a due date that we're practicing uploading their work for that. So any assignments and quizzes show up here, and then the pages that you put a to-do date on will show up on the calendar. And I know some kids are using their calendar as well. So hope that helps. Communicate and use the features in Canvas to help students know what's going on. I really think that they're using that to-do list. So it might be nice to just embrace it and click that little add to the to-do box because they're using it. Again, you can make sure the kids are going to the modules as well, but that's one way you can get things on the to-do list so you don't have things being missed. All right, good luck with all that.